everybody. Thank you for watching, being with me in this space. I want to continue talking about value, and today's topic is something I want to reflect on from my own experience. So today's topic is I have value even if I catch COVID. We can make 1,000 guesses, give 1,000 answers, reasons as to why catching COVID is such a big deal. But there is this certain amount of shame and guilt that happens when you catch COVID. So, as some of you may know, most of you probably don't, I was on vacation last week and the week before and caught COVID alongside my husband and my mom and my dad. And upon learning about this, there was a lot of, frankly, tears shed. It was not what I was expecting from this vacation. I had put a lot of time and energy into wanting to go on this trip and relax. And when you get, test positive for COVID, after you just test negative to get to where you're going, it's a little bit of a shock. But there's also just like this thing of like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think about me? And how are people going to treat me differently? And I have to say, everybody I was with was pretty great about the whole thing, but it still was just a lot. And I just was reflecting on that experience. And my original idea was to video you guys from my COVID accommodations. Luckily, they were very nice. But it was just a lot. So that got me thinking, and just based on conversations I've had with clients, like about this shame and this feeling of feeling like you're diseased or you're undesirable or you, for some reason, are like unclean or dirty, or you have bad habits, or you're taking, reckless precautions, and none of that could be true. Unfortunately, viruses spread, and luckily, this one seems to be pretty mild for a lot of people. I know some people are still at risk, but man, when a virus gets weak enough to where it can spread like this one is, it's going to happen, even if you quote unquote do all the right things. And I just want us to kind of be mindful of how we even talk about it when people, test positive for COVID. It's kind of like this gasp moment. And we don't really talk about that with cold or flu or strep or any of these other sicknesses that we carry around. So I just wonder what it would be like if there was more of just like a general, like, we're going to get sick sometimes. I don't know about you guys, but when I get sick, the usual first response for me is I feel like guilt and shame because I automatically feel drained, and I do this thought in my head where I go, oh God, that means I'm lazy. And that's not true. And then, that's my normal sick response, but now I'm not sick with like the flu. And I remember saying to myself, like, God, I would just wish this was the flu. Like, this would be so much easier. No, I got COVID. So now there's like this social stigma. So I just want to remind you that even if you catch COVID or you know somebody that has COVID, you have value, they have value. It doesn't change who they are. It doesn't mean that they did something better or worse than you. Viruses like to live on all kinds of surfaces and environments. So this is just a gentle reminder that regardless of your health status, COVID-free or testing positive for COVID, you still matter, you still count, and you are important. So I hope you guys have a good week. I'll be continuing talking about value and some other different aspects, kind of reflecting on just my time away and some of the experiences I've had. So stay tuned. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.